All right. The next speaker we have is Kate Ferguson. And Kate was kind enough to agree to do this while she is on holiday in Europe. She says her Wi-Fi is going well there, the Airbnb, so hopefully things go well. Kate, really happy to have you here from Liberty Mutual Insurance. Let me get you unmuted, and we would love to hear your story. Oh, you're already unmuted. Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Kate Ferguson, and I'm currently a data analyst at Liberty Mutual. And really what I'm here today to talk about is sort of my story through FinOps and how it's grown alongside how I've evolved and how it's evolved here at Liberty Mutual and where we think the future might be going. So you'll notice years in my career are 2 and years in FinOps are also 2. So I unknowingly started in FinOps right out of college. And we'll get into that a little bit later, but I've been enjoying it ever since. And as you see at the bottom, I am a huge Wordle and New York Times crossword enthusiast. So if you are also one of those, you are a friend of mine. And as JR mentioned, I'm currently traveling and I love to travel. So the picture on the right was actually taken in Cusco, Peru. So if you have any travel recs, let me know. But how did I get here? Why are we here today? What sort of events led to this happening? So I actually studied finance and management information systems at RIT in Rochester, New York. And that was a pretty unique experience. So it was a business school of about 200 people inside a 20,000 per student campus. And a majority of those students were engineers, whether that be mechanical, chemical, computer, science, et cetera. So from an early time in my learning career, my actual career, I began to learn how to interact with engineers and sort of share knowledge, understand their needs, how they approach their work. And as a part of my curriculum, I was required to do an internship. So my internship was done at Mozilla in San Francisco, and I was a financial analyst intern. But while there, I managed to spend a variance analysis for IT and innovative technology. And that experience really taught me that what I want to do when I'm out of college is I want to be the bridge between business or finance and technology in some form, shape, or way, whatever that meant. So when I was going through my college or my job search after college, Liberty Mutual seemed to have the perfect job posting for me. It was as a technology finance financial associate. So I signed up, and unknowingly, I essentially applied to the department and I fell into the unofficial FinOps team. So we rolled up to the CFO, and over the past 2 years, it's been pretty eventful. We've moved from rolling up to the CFO to rolling up to the CIO. We've migrated our homegrown tool the first year I was there from on-prem to the cloud. So that involved a lot of hands-on experience trying to understand working with engineers, understand data testing, data quality is good, and also learning what the heck the cloud is. As a finance major, I didn't really learn what the cloud was. And when I worked at Mozilla, which is a tech company, right? You all know Firefox. It was actually a black box. When I had a variance, I would ask, okay, how do I figure out why there's a variance? They're like, oh, it's a black box, right? So I've gone from a black box of a job for AWS to it being my full-time job. And that led us here to Liberty Mutual. So a little bit about our FinOps team, and it may sound similar to what we were talking about earlier or from other state of FinOps data, but essentially we're a 4-person FinOps team that has a product owner, 2 data analysts, and a solutions engineer. And really what we do is a little bit of everything. So we do the financial book close processes, we do automation where possible. So we're trying to automate as much of our monthly processes, as much of our reporting as possible, just to make sure that since we're a small team serving a Fortune 100 company's cloud spend, we're really spending as much time and focus and energy as possible where we can add the most value. Additionally, continuous learning, whether it's learning what the heck the cloud is, the different vendors, how to optimize FinOps, et cetera, et cetera. It's been a learning curve for the entire journey, as I'm sure you guys can all relate. So my YouTube feed is always popping up with FinOps recommendations or what the new things in AWS are. But it's been hard because we're multi-vendor, right? So we have AWS, we have Azure, Google, Datadog, we have so many different products. It can feel crazy and really hard to try and keep up with it. So a lot of learning, but following along in the FinOps Slack channel has definitely been one of the biggest levers for me, because then I can see, oh, Steve posted this in the Slack channel, right? Maybe if I have a question about that in the future, I can ask, or even the search capability has been really great. But in terms of challenges along the way, again, the technical, what is the cloud and how do I keep up, but also organizational, right? We're a huge company. So our ratio, as you'll see in the right-hand box, we have 4 people for over 5,000 technology employees on top of the senior leadership who want answers, reports, data, et cetera, right? So learning who wants what, managing that, and then getting the data ready for them has been one of the hardest pieces of just being fully remote and not knowing who's who. Additionally, with our homegrown tooling, the reason why we have homegrown tooling and what it essentially is it just synergizes, similar to what JR and team were talking about earlier. It synergizes those multi-cloud vendor data. So we have AWS, Azure, and GCP as a single pane of glass for our customers so that they can go in and see what their application or artifact spend is without needing to IM me or my product owner. We're also working on training courses, right? Because there's so many people. So we're trying to make sure everyone can understand their costs and optimization opportunities at their own pace. And the biggest piece of all is the imposter syndrome. I think that's the biggest challenge I face and still am facing. Is almost quarter life crisis inducing, if you will. I technically am a data analyst, but I'm also kind of a financial analyst, kind of a business analyst. I don't really know what I am, but I'm happy, right? And my leadership understands that my job isn't exactly a data analyst, but they're willing to support me as we kind of figure out what the FinOps team's definitions and roles are here at Liberty Mutual. So I feel really fortunate to have that opportunity. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But again, quarter life inducing, I have no clue what the future holds, but I really want to keep being that bridge between technology and finance in some form or capacity. And I think FinOps is a great place to be to do that. So.
Okay, that was really, really amazing. And I don't think you could have given a better pitch for somebody to come work at Liberty Mutual than I am happy. Great story. Excited that you're on this journey.